Thank you for staying with TVC Breakfast. Now, we're still sticking with the political intrigues ahead of 2027. I'll continue our conversation.
Yeah, Mr. Jide, ahead of every major election, we do have electoral reforms. The National Assembly actually preparing for one public hearing. But my worry, Constitutional Review, my worry also is this crop of politicians, are they capable of giving Nigerians the kind of electoral reform we really want? Now, because every now and then you hear people defecting from one political party to the other. Should it even be an issue when you are elected on the platform of Party A, and while still in office, you defect to another party? Should it be debated that you have lost the confidence of the people who brought you in ab initio, and we should have that enshrined in our law books?
Thank you. Politics is a game of interest. And for a politician, self-preservation is the first law of nature. You and I know that this whole agitation about trying to prevent defections, cross-carpeting, has not worked because the culprits are the one we expect to make the law against themselves. And that is why I gave that prelude that politics is a game of interest. I'm very disappointed with the 10th National Assembly. This is September. They are still doing public hearing. Are we saying we don't know the issues? This has become a recurring decimal. Every National Assembly will spend billions, not even millions, billions annually, perennially, to do electoral reform. And then when they do it, they leave loopholes that you can exploit to make sure that that thing does not work. The 2022 Electoral Act was, I'm part of the civil society. I was involved in the advocacy around the electoral reform under Buhari, the 2 electoral reforms that were done. But what did we see? When it came to implementation, loopholes here and there that could be explored, and the court, we blame the court.
Don't you blame even the civil society? You have lawyers amongst you.
Well, how do you blame us? We are not the lawmakers. You come up with bouquet of things to do. For instance, even yesterday I granted an interview about what should go into electoral reform. We are talking of diaspora voting, out-of-country voting, early voting provisions, voting by prisoners. We are talking of having all elections in one day. We are talking about strengthening the law against cross-carpeting and all of that. But not so deaf as those who will not hear. You can make all the memoranda. Today, ahead of this, millions have been spent on advertisement over the weekend. Oh, come to Congress or come and make your presentation. Is it that they don't know? They don't know. They have institutional memory. But everybody, it's an opportunity to make some money for themselves. And the worst part for me is not even the money they want to make, is that they are not expeditious. By February next year, INEC is under obligation to release timetable for 2027. If as at September, you have not even you have not voted at the level of National Assembly for those areas you want amended in our Constitution and Electoral Act, so that the state can take over from you. Meanwhile, by next month, budget will take precedence. Can you see? So by the time you food drag, and it's December, you say, oh, we need to pass this budget expeditiously. So every other thing goes to the back burner. By the time INEC release timetable, you cannot be changing the rules in the middle of the game. So it is called filibustering. And it is deliberate. Because, you have a constitution that says for lawmakers, federal lawmakers, section 68 subsection 1G, you cannot defect except there is crisis at the national headquarters of your party. That's the only ground by which you can defect. There's irreconcilable difference, factions, and all of that. And you know, they would deliberately orchestrate that factionalization in order to justify their defections. But that is even for lawmakers. I've searched the Constitution. There is nowhere where a governor or a president is forbidden from cross-carpeting.
That's right.
That's why all of them who have defected, from the Akwa Ibom to Delta to Cross River to name them, all of them, about 8 of them that have defected under this in the last few years, none of them have been sacked by the judiciary because there's no provision for them to be sacked. You in one hand, you said lawmakers should not defect, but the chief executive who controls the budget can defect without any sanction, without any punishment. So what kind of impunity are you creating? And now the contradiction, the contradiction is that the people, when the judiciary wants to interpret vote, they said the vote you cast is for the party, not for the candidate.
Exactly.
That has been established by Supreme Court in a number of judgments.
All right, Mr.
That you vote for the party. If I vote for the party and I'm the one that sponsored you, why shouldn't you relinquish my seat if you want to leave?
All right, Mr. Ojo. I'll come back to you, Mr. Sado. Very closely tied